Ladies and gentlemen, I am the show, Danny P. Thank you so much for tuning in to What Remains of Edith Finch. Now, from what I gather, I have not played this before. From what I gather, this is an incredibly emotional story. It has garnered very high praise as well. So I'm very excited to go ahead and play this game. It looks like it's going to be very interesting from what I can gather from the start here. Looks quite interesting. Also looks quite beautiful as well. But yes, welcome into What Remains of Edith Finch. We're going to be here until the story is over. So strap yourself in, pop yourself some popcorn, enjoy the story, because I know I am. I have been dying to play this game, so this is going to be fun. And I can't move my mouse.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Of course, guys, let me know if you guys can hear it or not. I can easily go ahead and adjust the volume of that. No problem. These graphics are amazing. Holy crap.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Interesting. Mm-hmm.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Whoa. Yeesh. Brav, it looks fun. Let's do this. All right.
My mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Nope, it's just hold down W, look around, and have some fun.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Deer! Whoop. I wonder if it heard me.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
This is one intense looking house there, man.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
I don't want to go in.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't.
All right, around the side we go.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Yeesh. A couple of bikes, an old car. Love the tennis ball.
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home. But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
In loving memory of Louis Finch, December 27, 1988 to November 21st, 2010. Oof. Rough.
Like how after Louis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library. Only one restaurant would deliver to our house. We had Chinese a lot.
I think I gotta go upstairs.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes. I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. Louis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him. Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
Oh, wow.
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead. I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Holy crap, man.
Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage. I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. I I kept eating and eating.
Yee, you probably shouldn't be eating that. Yep.
I ate a lot of things that night.
Can't eat those.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
This is so cool. Oh my god, this is so... It's so cool and so sad at the same time.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Yeesh. Alright.
I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
Oh my god.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through
Oh my god.
eyes. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger. A mama rabbit. She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating.
Oh my god,
Suddenly, I was a shark.
Sharks aren't in the trees, silly. Oh my god.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
This is so cool.
I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
This is so intense.
Grabbed on tight. When I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
I'm an octopus.
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet.
Kind of gave me a little jump scare there, not gonna lie. I think I gotta go up the stairs.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Belly was rusty, his belly was rusty, his belly was rusty, razor. What shall I do with a drunk sailor? What shall I do with a drunken sailor? What shall I do with a drunken sailor?
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
And game crashed. Yeah, Walla Bob, so sad. Oh, my game just crashed. Of course my game would just crash like that. Oh my god. All right, hold on. I have to do all that again.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here.
December 13th, 1947.
All right,
Dear
we have
Diary,
to do that again.
I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure that everything was working on my end.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. My Halloween candy was all gone. I kept eating and eating.
Ugh.
I ate a lot of things that night. Then I heard chirping outside my window. I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Yeah, don't eat Christopher.
It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me. I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits. I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons.
Oh boy.
I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
Come on.
A mama rabbit.
Come here, Mama Rabbit.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
Sharks don't belong in trees. Eh.
I rolled off the cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Oh my god, this story is so sad.
I grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. was big, but I moved real quiet.
Come here, boy.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Belly with a rusty, his belly with a rusty,
Nom, 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 nom.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Ew.
I got closer and closer.
Where am I supposed to go?
All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
What in the hell?
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Oof. Need a little bit more space here.
I can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here. I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting. This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. We got along, and it was a good place to hide from my mom. When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't. One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time. Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious. Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. Her room was like a museum. Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
All right, there's another story over here. Let's go ahead and take a look at through this one. Odin.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Yeesh.
Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house. Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
All right, what's going on over here? That is one pink bathroom.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace. There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Oh, wow. That's elaborate.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Wait a minute. She's pregnant.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him.
Kind of a cool little room here, I'm not gonna lie.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
(1950 to 1961). Woof.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom, and he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again, and he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
What the hell was that? Oh, we made it around.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Wow. Oh, wow,
Calvin's
man.
story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing. After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
This house is so cool.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies. Edie's father, Odin, built the original house. When
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Gregory, Calvin.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait. Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947. Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
Back in we go.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Clearly she was.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
(1944 to 1960). She was 16 years old.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room.
Jeez.
So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Oh, I actually have to move this one around. Oh,
She found
boy.
Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear! Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Just real quick. All right.
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And here he was. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully. She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges grow. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Can we walk a little faster, please?
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was... Someone at the door was dying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard. But that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear.
Yeah.
Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Yeesh.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
I don't think that's where I need to go. But it also looks like I have no choice. Thank you guys again so much for tuning
I guess now I know
into
why Mom
this
doesn't like me
episode
playing
of...
with the music box.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to What Remains of Edith Finch. Really do appreciate it, guys. Keep commenting. Let me know what you guys think of the story. We're going to be here a while. A long, long while.
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
Now, where's the music box? Do I need to get... Is the music box in here? You. I could have sworn to God I would have thought the music box was in there, but no, 'tis not.
I wonder if that comic was right about there being a key inside the music box near the basement. A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
Hope I didn't miss anything.
Mom said the
Sven!
basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Yeah.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
I thought maybe she was hiding presents.
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that. I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
(1952 to 2005). Walter.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
30 years?
On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And
This
then
is the
one
only
day,
thing I can do, by the way.
everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid.
Canned peaches for 40 years.
It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
Oh my God, there's another passageway.
I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
Man, that's brutal. Hey, let's go outside. Let's go explore everything that's going on. Wow, it's beautiful out here. Train.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Yeesh. Come on. There we go. Nope, we're not going down there. Got it.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left. My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
It's so dark. I can't see shit.
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank. My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
Am I supposed to still be down in the basement? We've already looked through there. I think I'm supposed to still be down in the basement, actually. Oops. Which is probably why it's so goddamn dark. I can't even find my way back.
The power had been turned off the night we left.
There we go. Jesus. I don't want to talk about it.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else.
Jesus.
But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Okay, oh boy, I was getting worried
I
about
don't
that.
know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of. Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
At least the game keeps you on the right track for the most part. But my God, it's beautiful. Some of these stories have been horrific.
Had that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness. Any of it seems possible. I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
Yeesh. Oh, wow.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils are mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Oh, man. Zerpy, Lurpy, Furpy, Chirpy, Burpy, Derpy, and Derpy Jr. Lucy, Daisy, Charlie, Tucker, Coco, Zoe, Bailey. Shotsky, Shadow, Oliver, Bob, Christopher.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Molly, Calvin, Sven, Edie, Walter, Barbara. Wow. This is so deep.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
Great Odin's monument!
She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
It's the old house.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from.
Gregory.
Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
Sam. And Gus.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Lewis. Sanjay. Sanjay? Milton.
We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone.
Holy crap.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
22 weeks pregnant. "22 weeks pregnant." Nope, there it is.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense.
I see that. Sam. 33 years old.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm? Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
What?
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though. Aw.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Hmm.
Hey!
That's a keeper. Hold still while I take a picture of you.
That's funny.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Now, where are you? Oh, there you are.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination. Focus on your target. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Great shot, Dawn!
Oh, Bambi, no!
I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Oh my god.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Oh my god. That's brutal. Nope, 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 no, no. There we go. Welcome to the most elaborate house in the history of
After Sam
mankind.
died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Yeah, I'd say so. Ah, little Pac-Mans. No. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Little Gregory was 1 year old.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Hee 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 hee.
Back time's over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
Little rubber duckies. Hey.
What his world was like. You reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was, he saw.
The letters. I'm just having fun right now.
Sure made him happy.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
Yikes.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Okay, so I'm going up the rock wall.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
You're 22 weeks pregnant and you're doing this.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died. She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Oh, very cool. Was I supposed to do something else up there? I'm sure there was. I'm sure there was. Come on. You got it. There we go. Yep, there it is.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English.
That's where they met.
Lewis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
Edith, Milton, Lewis, Dawn.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that.
Yeah, but you build into a
And for
house like a
while,
normal person.
Things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Man.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
I love these. I love flip books so much because these are so much fun to do. And he was gone. Just like that. Milton was gone.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
So we need Dawn, Lewis, Edie. And are we going to get anything with Kay and Sanjay?
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Nope, we went the wrong way.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Nope, I gotta go this way. Those are kind of cool seats. Oh, there we go. Trippy, bro.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Yeah, man. No, 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 no. It's not what I wanted to do.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander.
Oh my
I asked
God,
him
this
to
is
describe it.
so hard.
He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
This is so hard to do. So with one hand, like with my right hand, I have to, you know, cut the fish, and with the other hand,
talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something.
And with the other hand, I'm
Every day
moving
his
Lewis.
imagination grew stronger.
Oh my God, this is so cool.
He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on. In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for sinister serpents. followed the sound of her silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
That was so trippy.
He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Yeesh.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting him. His queen waited, holding his crown.
Very cheery music. I like it.
There's only one thing left to do. Bend down his head. And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Oh my God.
Cool. I wish you could have met him.
He chopped off his own head. That got dark real quick. So if I'm not mistaken, the only two that are left.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
The only two that are left are Dawn and Edie.
I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Edith in her own bed.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
The thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's
I've
just
seen
gotta
that house
reek.
every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. For a while, I wondered. I started seeing things.
Nope. Dare.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
If you guys can't see a whole lot of anything, good, because neither can I. That fog
Things
is
I
real
can't
intense.
explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go. I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive.
Oof.
Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
No.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Edith Finch died January 18th, 2017. She died at childbirth, or during childbirth. Unreal. Oh man, what a story. Oh, that was pretty incredible, I'm not gonna lie. very emotional, very shocking at times. Like some of those stories took a left turn real quick. But man, oh man, Jesus Christ, that is a really good story. But yeah, real sad though. Jesus Christ. But you know what? I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I absolutely did. I absolutely enjoyed What Remains of Edith Finch. Let me know what other kind of story mode games you guys want me to go ahead and play, and I will absolutely go ahead and set all that up for you guys. And that was really, really good. Like, for the first, like, story mode kind of game that we're going to be doing here on this channel, that was one hell of a way to start. So, with all that being said, and I can't find my mouse or cursor or anything like that, but I am going to very calmly I'm going to very calmly let all the credits run. But in the meantime, guys, I'm the show, Danny P. Thank you again so much for tuning in. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead, follow the channel or subscribe to the channel, whichever one that you prefer to go ahead and do. We're going to try and do more story mode games on this channel just because, you know, it's a nice little turn and a nice little swerve of what we normally do here on this channel. So, like I said, thank you very much again so much for tuning in, guys. Truly appreciate it. And in the meantime, guys, I guess really the only thing I have to say is take care. And I'll see you next time. I'm going to let the credits roll. I'm out.